Welcome to the best hour of their day podcast with your hosts, Jason Fernandez.
And me, Jason Ackerman. With more than 20 years in the business,
as both coaches and affiliate owners,
our passion is to help create world-class affiliates
and coaches by building
better boxes. Welcome to
the best hour of your day.
Mark England and Lifted back.
Back on the podcast.
Second time, but the first time was a two-parter. So is this the second or third time? Yeah, we had to break it up
because Mark tends to talk a lot.
Is this second or third then?
Technically it's second, but we'll call it third.
And Firm was just on your podcast?
We drove down.
Yeah, but we can check.
Is that released yet? Did you guys release that yet?
Next week.
Be ready for the internet to explode.
Yeah. And already, so by the way, you can't watch this because the internet exploded a couple weeks ago when Fern was on Unlifted. But they can check that out. Where's that available?
On the Getting Lifted podcast on Spotify. It was essentially Fern Unplugged. Were
unplugged.
Were those questions? We went down there and we wanted
I had no idea. I was like, what are we talking about? He's like, we're talking about you.
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Things you hadn't talked about.
I want to hear it now. I mean,
stuff you hadn't talked about.
If you were at dinner last night, there was a couple things he hadn't talked about.
Yeah, that's true, too.
The best hour team.
Jess was like, I didn't know you were going to share that much.
Nate was fascinated, right, Nate?
Yeah.
Well, maybe one day when the company is big enough and we're uncancelable.
I'm definitely not telling those stories to the public.
We'll tell those stories. So we got Mark England, founder of Unlifted. We've had you on in the past. Since then, we did the Unlifted weekend with you.
Pay attention to your inhale. Make that inhale big and powerful. Get a little lightheaded. It's free. Go me. Good. Sit down before you fall down. Get loud. Hey. Hey. Go.
Would not have been bold enough to do any of that, and then it's totally just changed the trajectory of our life.
That was a demonstration of real courage.
I want you to push yourself. Get loud. You know what you all can take care of with better breathing? Exactly. Said it a lot.
Nearly a year ago, Brandon
September
Howell.
5th of 2022 is when I was.
Right. So why do you remember that so well?
I'll tell you later. I'll tell you why. September. It's the day, and Mark is in on this. It's the day I verbalized the BHAG.
Really? I know what the
in the parking lot in my gym.
We won't say it.
We won't say it. Doesn't matter.
You say it to somebody or to yourself?
To Marcus in the parking lot.
And you remember the date?
Big, hairy, audacious goal?
Yeah,
correct.
Yeah.
You don't not remember that shit.
Yeah, no, and I was going to say, like, to Mark's credit, I don't think that would have been the case. Obviously not for the weekend, but putting the words out there is something Mark's taught us, and really being cognizant and aware of the words we use. And because you did that, I think that's why you were like, I just said that shit. Mm-hmm. I mean that shit. That shit's going to happen because I know what you're talking about. And you're like, September 5th, motherfuckers. This is the After Hours podcast.
Yeah.
We've been going at it for a while, so we may drop
late night with Mark England.
Is Mark trying to intimidate us, right? Do you feel like he's trying to intimidate us?
I feel like you have kind of like a mean mug right now.
Yeah, what's going on?
I'm so damn happy to be here.
This is your happy face. Sorry. I misinterpreted.
You asked me to show up.
Dude.
I drove.
You did drive
through the night
on a whim.
Two things. You asked me to come, and my granddad always said when Jason Ackerman tells you to ask you to come up for a podcast, you show up, motherfucker. and then you asked me for the soft talk keyword.
That was from Dave Robinson.
Bored.
Yes.
Do you have one? One of the wooden plaques?
I don't. Dave had one. Dave Robinson, that is. And we had a really good talk.
I would like to present you with the soft talk board.
This is yours. And not only is this yours, this is one of the Gen 1s.
What does that mean?
That means
it's worth more money. I can sell it on eBay.
And that came off of Adam Chin's desk. So
Wait, he signed it to me, or is this a different Jason?
No, that's to you.
Wow.
That's his off of his desk. And on my way up here, I stopped at his house because we're in the middle of a launch, wrote some scripts, got in front of the teleprompter, and remembered to get that from him and get it autographed for you.
This means a lot. Well, for one, shout out to Dave Robinson. who's
Shout out to Chopper Dave.
Chopper.
Dude,
Is that what you call him, Chopper Dave?
Chopper Dave, all day.
Awesome dude. I've been dealing with some back injuries. We had a talk a couple weeks ago, and we were talking about soft talk and some other things. I was like, you know what? I stand up at my computer like this, and there's this wall here that I've wanted to put something on. And I was like, oh man, I need to get one of those. Where can I get one? He's like, reach out to I text you while we're on the call. Oh, I can't wait to put this up right next to
I just put one up behind my computer.
Yeah, I want to be able to look at it.
Not a wooden one. Well, technically it's wood.
Was it
It's
signed by
paper.
this guy? Adam
paper.
Chin?
No.
Was it hand delivered by Mark England?
It definitely was not. Well, it does. Mine
See,
were
now
hand-
he's mean mugging you.
those technically.
I've been nice the whole time.
Technically, they were hand delivered. He handed me the papers.
I'm so psyched. Hey, can I have a hug?
Dude, my pleasure, man.
Thank you. Means a lot. This has been life-changing for me. I know it's for him. Obviously for Marcus. But for the rest of the team, also, I see the difference in young Katie, in Nate, and then all of our clients. You should hear on some of our calls,
Shout
Joel.
out to the best hour community.
Hey, Joel,
man.
you back there? If Joel's back there, he gave an amazing...
Super stud.
You know Joel?
Kinda.
Well, we should introduce you to Joel. Joel, grab the headset. Anyway, while we're getting Joel, he gave a great chat at our Mastermind in Denver, and ever since
he's talking right now. We'll get him.
Ever since then, remember Fern? Ever since then, on our small group calls, people are like soft talk, like saying shit.
We've done enough of this to where we know where to start, and it's soft talk.
Yeah.
And those right there, everybody, those are the key words. If you take these words, if you cut them in half, you will double your
When you say cut them in
confidence.
half, you use them less.
Half the usage.
Joel, you ever think you'd be on a podcast with us? This guy.
I've never been on a podcast. How's this
His
work?
first one?
Yeah.
Just talk.
Man, you've got a great voice for this.
give us
You thought
that
about
sultry
getting-
voice.
Getting
idea.
some
Give
gear
us
on your
that
own.
First of
sultry
all,
voice.
I'm sure you're aware, but Mark England and Lifted, and this is Joel
Hold on.
Cochran.
No, hold on. Do you not know this?
Well, I know he's been through the level 1 and 2 for sure.
Okay.
Dude, he's a fucking gangster.
But how do you think they not know each other?
I know. Can I get in this?
We got it. Hey,
Hold on this way.
there we
Right
go.
here, Joel.
This is right and history.
I know. Obviously, Mark. You're right, but but let me say this.
And we're there.
Let me
Yeah,
say
yeah.
this. No.
And we're done.
I was in cohort like 31.
Yep. I was 32.
You were 32. There's at least 8 to 10 per. There's, Mark has, not to mention one-on-one clients, people he's met. I don't know that he remembers every single person. But he comes
Yeah,
across.
but you guys have
Clearly he
done
does.
more than just you being in the course, as far as like your relationship goes further than just you were a student.
He's a colleague
yeah.
and a friend.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
sure.
I didn't realize you guys were dating.
Yeah. Well, for actually a couple years now, but thanks for.
We met online.
You know why you're here? I
Yeah.
was trying to give you a compliment. I don't want to give you that compliment anymore. No, you gave an amazing presentation.
Joel's part
at
of
my
our team.
Mastermind.
I keep hearing
yeah.
about it, dude.
Yeah.
You must have just.
People,
No.
no
Torched
joke,
the
I don't
place.
think there was a dry eye in the house. We had our first mastermind this
Yeah.
past June in Denver. We do them twice a year for affiliate U clients at no cost to the client. Just show up.
Yeah.
Food's provided.
Yeah.
Entertainment's provided.
That's me.
That's us. And it's just a fantastic weekend. I mean, but you gave perhaps second to the Ted Lasso lecture, the best lecture there. And point was, ever since then, our clients are clamoring for mindset
Yeah, big
and
time.
really aware of their own soft talk,
Yeah.
hence the black.
Yeah. Well, even just here at the CrossFit Games.
Oh, move forward. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Choose your words,
Has that
Nate.
light
Yeah,
been on all
yeah.
week?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why I have a tan just
feel
on
like-
this side of my face.
Is that light really been on?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yes, it has.
Okay.
Are you fucking serious right now?
I just don't remember being, and I was staring into it.
But even here at the CrossFit Games, different affiliate owners coming up and having different, issues or problems that they're facing. Some of the things that I've used through the Unlifted method is being able to get curious and get asked the right questions instead of the statements of, they're not doing this or that. And I said, well, why don't we start asking some questions here? And people are literally going, I never
Answers.
thought about that.
Push. Questions. Pull.
That's right.
Write that down, Joel.
Yes.
Came up with it just now. That's a Fern
might
and
use that,
Ackerman.
yeah.
Yeah, we made that up.
For
Yeah,
an
yeah.
actor
Did you?
combo.
Oh, okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I heard that from somewhere too.
Hey, let me ask Mark a question. How does it feel to impact this many people? Because same for affiliate owners, right? But I think a lot of what you do, I mean, same for us with affiliate owners. We help an affiliate, they help hundreds of people, right? You help somebody, they help hundreds of people. But mindset extends far beyond the walls of a gym. I mean, that's 24 hours a day. And I could tell you, for both of us, since working with you, it's like a different relationship dynamic.
I like him now.
I like him less. I'm going to talk about why that's happening.
Yeah.
No, but you...
Space and clarity.
No,
it's
I
fucking
need more
wild,
space.
man.
I need
It's
more
just-
space. Yeah.
It's wild. I only like to think about it a little bit,
Why?
a tiny little bit, because that's all I need. All I want to do is, so as far as big picture thinking is concerned, people have their opinions about it. What works best for me, and I recommend, as far as goal setting and vision casting and things, tinkering around with it, find out what's the best for you. I want to look at the big picture maybe 1 minute a month. Just to see it and, yep, okay, we're going in the right direction and there it is. And then everything else is today, tomorrow, small tasks.
Head down,
write
eyes
them
forward.
down. Marry the process. So know what the target is, and then marry the plan. Marry the plan, marry the process, and it's also a little bit spooky to think about what happens if we keep going with this.
Nothing bad. I'll tell you that.
All the good stuff, man. And getting feedback from clients saying, hey, you know, I got this last week. You know, you really helped me with the confidence thing at work. But I just want to, I'm writing you because my daughter was able to diffuse a bullying situation with words at school, and it's been really bothering her. And she said she came back from school, and she said she just said some different things to these people and took it in a different direction, and it really boosted her confidence.
Yeah, that's cool.
And that for me, that's like
life-changing.
Man, yeah. So, you know, I wake up with the gas in the tank, and I empty it during the day, go to bed, wake up, it's there. It's been there every morning for the past 16 years. I plan on it, maintaining that, and then get out of the way. So it's
cool.
You know, do the thing and then get me out of the way. So killers like this can, because it's not. I was telling Matt Van Schoik. Yeah.
He was just over there. Yeah, him and
Yeah.
Matt and Lindsay. Yeah, but I told when Mark came to do the podcast, I was telling him, I was like, Marcus and I were standing in the back, and Marcus is like, are you watching this right now? I was like, this motherfucker's story working 100 people at the same time.
I remember you saying that, yeah.
I was like, what the fuck is happening?
We had Mitch up there crying.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Right? Everybody else.
There was
and
a lot
Mitch,
of,
he had Mitch up there.
savage.
Amazing dude. CrossFit the Loop out in
We're
Washington.
going out.
Yeah,
to,
you're going
he
there.
Bought
Yeah.
He bought a workshop.
Yeah, no, he's
that's
really
cool.
excited about that.
That's really
But I
cool.
mean, like,
And
tough dude. Joel's got him balling up there.
Yeah.
Joel's
It was good.
got him
It was
like
a beautiful release.
Yeah. And everybody else, because of his release, had their own little,
Big time.
like you saw it. It was awesome.
Oh yeah. Staring at
And
the
nobody's
crowd.
checking their phones. Let me guess. Nobody's checking. When someone goes and the transformation starts to happen and a little bit of vulnerability shows up, and then, you know, some little bit of leaking in that.
Yeah.
Some smarter part of us goes, hey, pay attention to this. There's something in there for you. Right. And everybody leans in, and you walk out feeling refreshed and renewed. And then, you know, Matt and Lindsay Van Schoik were over there an hour ago, and I was telling them, I cried. We just graduated level 2, group 10.
Yeah.
Last
2
week?
weeks ago, maybe?
Yeah.
Because Matt's been through and lifted.
Yeah. They both done
level 1 and level 2.
1 and 2. And after the first group of level 2 students,
Final call this week, but like CrossFit Final Call, they're like 2. They just sold one. Super happy they did it. They were affiliate U clients, got some things sorted out, and they're probably happier than I've seen them in a long time. They're like walking on clouds, man.
I cried after we graduated the first group of level 2s, because now I've got a bunch of people I can talk about with this stuff. So, you know, going back to the what's it like influencing these people, I'm honored. It's spooky. It hits me in the feels sometimes, which I let it happen when it happens, and I try to think about it of 0.5% of the time, because I'm just more productive that way.
Yeah.
And I know where this
you don't
thing
think about
goes
it too
if I
much.
show
It can be
up.
overwhelming.
Yeah,
I mean, I think
right?
about my success nonstop.
Same thing with
but
y'all.
I get it. I
Same
get
thing.
it if you're humble. This guy, every time he does something well in the Slack group, we write Abracadabra. What's Abracadabra mean? It's not just a Steve Miller song.
Yeah. Yes.
I added that
But it
joke.
is a Steve Miller song.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah. With our words, we create.
Yeah.
We're able to create, and it's one of the first things I talk to any coach about is being able to recognize what those words can do. And I mean, so often we get affiliate owners that are like this, just so locked in. It's like we're right in front of them, and they just are seeing the fight, and they are just full dukes up because it's the CrossFit way, right? You know, for a lot of the times, right? 3, 2, 1, it's go time.
Yeah.
There's no slowing down, right? I mean, shoot, just trying to get them to, breathe, right? We were talking Chris Hinshaw. I mean, we had Chris Hinshaw on.
I don't have time to analyze what's going on.
Yeah. But how can you breathe? I was hearing him talk the other day, and he was, getting this guy's breath while he was running. It's like, hey, how you breathing is going to really affect you. And a lot of these CrossFitters just run into it. Their breath is up in their chest, right? They don't know how to breathe down. And I heard you talking in the back, talking about the breath and how important that breath is, both in the athletic sense and also when we're in the fight in our words or in our mind, and to get people to stand back, get them to slow down, start asking them some questions. And I've done it 4 or 5 times today.
I've watched.
Yeah, and just get them to back up and I watch them settle down. And now I can be like, okay, cool, now we can work.
Now we can talk.
Yeah.
Because they can hear you. When someone's in an upregulated state, we say this, good luck changing your client's mind or even prospective client's mind.
Right.
Sales calls anyone when their breath is trapped in their chest. Upregulated, tense body, breath in the chest, negation, they can't hear you.
No.
They're locked into a certain way of using their words, thinking, and it might be step 1 is to create the space.
Yep.
It can be argued that that's step 1.
Yep.
Ask questions, get them talking.
Yep.
Okay, whether it's a coaching session or a sales session or how about interacting with your kids in a productive way? So I drove up from Virginia.
How long was that trip?
14 hours. We'll get to that. And so I drive into today's Friday. Yeah,
right.
Wednesday. I get into Ohio and stop off at a grocery store right before I'm giving a workshop at Endeavor CrossFit. And there was a woman in front of me, and she had a couple of kids, and negations, everybody. She goes, I refuse to buy any more donuts, and got real, like yelled at her kids and got down in their face. I was just thinking to myself, right there is half the reason why, structurally speaking, syntactically speaking, don't I sound smart, why parents say, I hate repeating myself, because they repeat themselves in negations, as in they tell the kids what they don't want them to do.
Stop doing
Don't
that.
talk back to me. Don't get your clothes dirty. You can't get up early from the dinner table, and then so on and so on. And it's
I caught myself doing that the other day. I was like, hey, don't drop that. And I was like, well, that's not going to help.
and that right
But you
there,
recognized it.
Yeah.
That's
I was
why
like, hey,
it's a
hold it tighter.
practice.
Yeah.
That's why it's
Yeah.
a practice. That's a path.
And coaching as well. Hey, don't do that versus, squeeze
this.
your butt, push
Yeah.
your knees out, whatever.
Hey, don't make a mess or keep this place clean.
Yeah.
Don't
like
fall
it.
down and hurt your knee versus you have excellent balance. Whether
Right.
whether the child is going to fall over or not,
Right.
you want to spell on your kids like that because, well, parents' language structures their children's identity.
For sure.
And language is an inheritance. They're going to grow up and use those same sets of words, those same mindset, that same mindset, that same thought process with their kids. And so, you help some people with their words. They use it differently at home. Not only staying more focused in the gym during the WODs and the coaches, creating an even better culture, because that's one of, if not the main substrates of culture in a gym or in any organization is language. Yeah. And you get that working for you. Everybody. And my favorite quote from Einstein: intellectuals solve problems, geniuses prevent them. And when you get the words in the mix to help prevent problems before they ever happen,
Right.
man, that's a completely different conversation.
Yeah.
Pun intended.
That's really cool. What So talk to us about what you're getting ready to launch, or is it launched?
We've partnered with Freedom Builders, Mike Gonzalez, Freedom Builders, and he launches programs. And I know that guy from Training Camp for the Soul. It's a emotional processing thing. It's legit. And he and I went through together.
Are you quitting? Should we talk about quitting?
Yeah. Yeah, we'll talk about walking off when your team needs you the most.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel. Should we talk about abandonment right now?
Yeah, because I feel it.
Yeah, there's a story.
Yeah, abandonment, not good enough, imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
The telephone. Anyway,
All right, that didn't work out for me, so I'm back.
yeah. He tried to leave us, but he couldn't.
Yeah.
He's got the whole,
I still feel abandoned. It's fine.
We're launching our level 1 certs in a different way.
Okay.
Which entails a different marketing campaign, email funnels, a downsell program, and a lot of video work, which is what I was doing yesterday morning. I'll be doing it tonight, tomorrow morning. Having the scripts, writing scripts.
You refurbished Procabulary, correct? Is that, I mean, not refurbished, refined, repackaged is a better phrase, or I'm completely fucking wrong.
That's what's coming next.
Oh, okay, got
we
it.
shot it last August at the Lake House.
Okay.
In Lifted Coaches Essentials. So we've produced 3 full online training programs.
Got it.
Procabulary is what launched it all.
Okay.
It was for the general audience.
Yep.
Shout out to Mike Bledsoe and the Barbell guys for
this
having
is
that weird shit on.
2017,
It was
maybe.
I remember the day. January 20th, 2017.
Those are the videos that we watched in the level 1?
In the Procabulary?
Yeah, with Billy.
That was the second one.
That's the
Okay,
second one.
okay.
That's the Unlifted
Way the Unlifted
yeah,
Athlete.
Way the Unlifted Athlete.
And
Those are great. Those are fantastic.
we made another one for coaches called Lifted Coaches Essentials. So essentially, because the language patterns of self-sabotage and the imposter syndrome and the fear of not being good enough and a telephobia, they are the same language patterns, Ackerman, inside the gym as outside the gym. Walk me into a bank and I already know where the problems are starting.
Right.
I know where they're coming from. It's in the words. A sales team, a CrossFit gym. It doesn't matter what. It doesn't matter what, because people are overlooking their words because it's too close to home. I know you all have heard me say this so many times, and here I go again. It's right between our ears. It's right under our nose. It's right at our fingertips, and that stuff, these squiggles and sounds, they can't possibly be creating these problems in my life that are so big and huge, because most people get tricked into thinking the answer to their problems in their life that are so big and huge, the answer has to be equally as big and huge. And I'm here to tell you 99% of the time it's the exact opposite. Give me a pen and a piece of paper and somebody that wants out of whatever that situation is. I mean, you all know. You've seen it. You just get the story written down, and then that's half of it.
I want to put this out there because people are watching and they're thinking, oh, I'm either not a coach, not an affiliate, or this isn't for me. You happen to be great in that space, but I think my biggest takeaway, outside of just how I interact with Fern and Marcus and these guys, is at home. You're talking about with kids, it's with the wife and kids. Is
100%.
I love this guy, I love this guy, I love the team.
Yeah.
That may disappear, right? But this family, they're never going to disappear. But, point being, like, you got to take care of the people at home. So how I talk to my wife when I'm frustrated, but like you said, even my daughter, and for sure Fern is the same way with Chappie, right? It's like, it's easy to want to be mad and yell and do, these negative things, and trying to reframe that, because I'm thinking, like, I don't want to. You talk about that story of the girl whose aunt was like, look how big your nose was, right?
Yeah.
And it's like,
you have a big nose.
Actually, what's the one that I remember is what did the old guy say to the kid? He was like, hey, don't forget to be fucking rad or something like that.
He was talking about this yesterday.
What did he say?
I gave a workshop in 2014 in a booth similar to this at a hippie festival.
It's called the hippie festival.
It was called Gratify. And there was a guy in a booth next to us.
I'd rather we do our next podcast series at Gratify.
Oh, dude, let's go. I'm telling you, it's a scene. And there was a guy setting up a booth next to me. Afterwards, he came up and he said, man, that was awesome. You want to hear a story about all that? And I'm like, yeah, sure, of course. And he goes, man, my grandfather took me out in the backyard when I was like 12. And my grandfather said, I don't know what the guy's name was. We'll call him Davey. Little Davey, life's wild. There's zigs and zags and twists and turns and ups and downs, and you're going to get some things right and you're going to get some things wrong. Just always remember to err on the side of being a badass motherfucker.
That's what it was. That's what it was. That's what it was. I'm just gonna start telling it to every kid that I see.
But kid, remember that.
Sorry.
Yeah, kid, remember that.
Remember that.
Yeah,
That's
remember
a life
that.
lesson.
We're sorry we said it, but remember
That's
that.
a life lesson at the 2023 CrossFit Games.
And I saw those kids, and I actually I turned the volume down on
You
that
just
F-bomb.
changed their lives.
He's still looking.
Look at him.
He's still looking.
Scared.
He's like,
He's
I'm gonna say.
We're safe.
Dude, when Grandpa drops an F-bomb on you like that,
Dude.
he said, look at what he said.
I'm gonna just start telling that to random
looked
kids.
up. Things are looking up. He said, I looked up and saw myself differently.
Yeah.
And I took this big breath in, and I just felt big and strong, and I took up space. Most people are trying their damnedest to not take up
Minimize.
space.
Yeah.
Because so what did I do this morning? I'll circle back to that kid. One of the things we're doing for this launch is we're producing a video. We're going to evergreen it. People sign up for the wait list. They get it immediately. The top 10 reasons that coaches quit. And 8 of them fall under the umbrella of the fear of being seen.
Ooh.
We got a glitch in our language, everybody.
J.A.
and
does
people
definitely not have that
People
fear.
are creating stories. Yeah.
trying to be
Which
seen
is,
more.
guess what? And then
Look over here, guys.
do you think that's at all influenced your ability to get 600 plus podcasts out the door? I guarantee it.
It wasn't him.
Most
It
people
wasn't
are
him.
terrified.
Yeah, it was me.
It's even worse than that, really. Most people are stuck between the rock and the hard place of wanting to be acknowledged and recognized, and then a fear of being seen, and they just ping pong back and forth, and they don't get anything out the door that would put themselves at risk of being seen and judged, and all the negative stuff happen, and even some of the positive stuff, because that whole fear of success thing is real too.
100%. I don't think enough people talk about that.
100%, and we track it down to the words. Here's where mindset's going, everybody. I've been saying this for years. I'm saying it again. It's going to the words, as in what words force you to create the victim mentality, whether you like it or not, and what words help you stay focused on the good stuff, keep the drama down, breathe well, so when you're around your kids at home, everything's cool.
Mm-hmm.
You want to turn up the problems at home, go home and just keep it all tight and rigid and breathe in your chest, and because that puts you on edge. It puts you on edge, and then guess what? Everybody else is on edge because we pick up on that stuff. No, you want to do something great for your family, you don't have to say a damn thing. Go get around them and breathe well and watch what happens. Get your breath low and slow. And so
My kids are just gonna be like, "What's wrong with you?"
yeah, well, just
Why are you breathing so loud?
Dad's breathing again.
Why you breathe through your nose?
That's exciting. That's exciting.
What?
Helping people get over that shit.
Oh, yeah.
Over the fear of being seen, and then they go out
pay
and they have an adventure. They have a more interesting story to tell, because we're all going to die. That's another thing that I was on a cert about 10 years ago, and this had nothing to do with death processes or anything. And this guy stopped right in the middle of everything, and he gave that weird long pause. He goes, there's about 20 of us in the room. He goes, y'all are walking around like y'all aren't going to die. And everybody goes, And he goes, yeah, you're going to. Your ass is grass. It's going to be over. And you're living like you're not.
Yeah.
And then he just went right back into the curriculum, and everybody was like, huh? And that's the one thing I'm still talking about the most from that certification. And I had someone ask me, this is my 356th podcast I've been on talking about words, and she asked me, this is 2 weeks ago, she goes, so what's your enemy? What's your number one enemy? You got to have a number one enemy. And she's taken our certs, and we're also friends, and she knew I was going to say the victim mentality. And I said boredom.
Oh, tell me more.
When people are bored, weird things happen. When people do the same stuff over and over
I can
again, and
vouch
they
for
get
that. Most
used
of
to
the
the
shit
same,
ideas we've had are 'cause Jay was
dull
Or you were
feelings.
drunk.
That's true too.
What is that whole thing about the devil, the idle hands, or the devil's?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That whole thing.
Yep.
Something. Joel
And-
knows that one.
And what jazzes me up is seeing people get on stage and go for it, man.
Yeah.
Or Matt Van Schoik was telling me that he was working with somebody. I hope this podcast doesn't come out until the guy leaves. But he was working with someone in his hometown, and the guy's been a hometown guy his whole life, and did a couple of sessions, and he's leaving permanently,
Great.
going on an adventure.
Good. It's a big world out there.
It's a big world out there, man. Go get some, go fuck some stuff up.
Well,
You know?
Speaking of that,
Go make some mistakes, get some stuff right.
in order to do that, You need to not quit. So I want to go back to what you said earlier. Top 10 reasons coaches quit.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
One of it's
Because I don't
sales.
want to be a quitter. Jay's on the fence.
Yeah, Jay's
Give me
on the
like
fence.
2 or
He's-
3 of them.
Well, he just tried to quit. He
I
just
know.
put his
He couldn't do it.
thing down and just
Can't
I quit at quitting.
He
walked out.
You can't even quit right.
Fuck up. Well, peer group's a big one.
I believe that.
Negation. Don't have a good peer group, and you're going to feel like you're on an island. You only need a handful of people that understand what it is you're doing, why you're doing it, so you can
Shitty
bounce some
friends.
stuff. Yeah, I'll take. Yeah, exactly. You need them. You need them. Mediocre certifications. Mediocre certifications will, what that inevitably does, or almost inevitably does, coaches are ill-equipped. They're not able to deliver on the promise of transformation for their clients. They rack up a roster of clients that are stuck. And then the imposter syndrome, that's one of the most draining things for a mindset coach, or any kind of coach, really. You can't get your clients to move forward, and they're not happy, you're not happy.
Yeah.
That's extremely draining, and the imposter syndrome is waiting around the corner to mug you in the alley.
Curveball.
Yeah.
Are there mediocre certifications, or are there just mediocre coaches who don't know how to extract as much information from? Because I would argue, even in a bad certification, somebody who is there to improve themselves can extract something out of that and use it productively.
There'll be different levels of students and learners, for sure. I mean, I saw, it was about 6 months ago, I saw a mindset certification for $12.
I bring that up because I don't want people to have an out for that. They're like, oh, it's a mediocre certification. I just need more information. Like you're like, oh, I need the next thing, and I'm like, no, you don't. You don't know how to use what you currently have. You don't know how to extract the information out of that to make it useful.
Yeah.
Because like my wife and I went through this. We were signing up for something, and it's like, I don't know if it's gonna be worth it. I'm like, it's gonna be worth it. Why? Because we're fucking doing it.
Well, that's like
I will make it worth it.
You get one good thing.
Even if I'm like, I'll never do that version of what just happened,
Yeah.
that is enough for me. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
If the training is good enough, if they can extract enough skill and wisdom to be able to deliver transformation for their clients, so their clients are happy, and then keep that whole thing going.
Right.
Okay. Then yes, for sure.
Okay.
If the training is not good enough, then it's a net negative. So I took a training once upon a time, and I got this is in 2012, and I got the 12 days, and I got the label of master. There was over 1,000 people in that certification.
Seems legit.
Yeah, right? Newsflash, you can't master shit in 12 days. You can't master something in 12 years, in my opinion. If you just can't. I'm
So
sorry.
look at you, you're here. Clearly worked.
16 years in the game, and I've taken that. I have prematurely ejaculated on myself, professionally speaking, more than once.
Well,
with
today
words.
we've talked about
Yeah.
orgasms
Yeah.
and
As have I.
I have erroneously titled myself as a master a couple of times, and I woke up and I was like, nah, dude. If you use that word, you've lost.
Well, I appreciate your use of the word.
Yeah.
Okay, what else?
No,
Okay, sorry.
I
go ahead.
want to. Can we take a pause in the action?
I've seen a $12 certification.
Yeah.
I've seen a
No.
get certified life coach
For sure.
$12
We're
fucking
We're beyond.
dollars.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Premature ejaculation. Okay, so but I want to.
Professionally speaking.
We're gonna.
Professionally
That's
speaking.
okay.
Do you ever
If
go
it's
to?
not,
Do you ever go
we
to a
accept
con?
you.
Do you ever go to a concert and it's a band, and at some point.
What else would there be at a concert?
No, it could be just a solo artist. Hear
I'm
me
sorry.
out.
I really like
Hear
how
me
you
out.
flinched on that.
Hear me out.
That was funny.
The band leaves and lets the drummer do like a massive drum solo.
Yeah.
We're gonna be backstage, maybe talking to the ladies backstage, if you know what I mean. But we're gonna bring out Christina Anderson. She was out there, and she's been voluntold to have a little.
Voluntold? Did you just say that?
Yeah, no. I
He's
went
in my phone as the vernacular.
Yeah, I know.
Because how he used words.
She's willing to come out in real life,
Here, Joel,
live
can you
action.
switch with Christina?
No, she can take mine.
Oh, okay.
How about
All right, well, just somebody.
Mark,
Yeah. Okay.
But
Oh,
she-
I see what you're doing.
Yeah.
Jay does this all the time. He's like, how do I get out of this
How
right
do I
now?
get a
He's
little
like,
break?
yeah, yeah,
I was
yeah.
honestly
Nikki, will you
offering
get me
you
a
two the
pen
break
and a
as
piece
well.
of paper?
But no. Real quick introduction. Christina Anderson, you were here at the games coaching. What was your name?
Carolyn Thistle.
Carolyn in the Masters division. One of the very few CrossFit coaches that have passed the new version of the level 4. So maybe you've seen her on the training
Yeah, CrossFit did a piece on it.
account.
Congrats.
And I knew going out there asking her she was going to say yes, but I did confirm that she was willing to do this.
So you're handing me a noob, no pressure.
Yeah, but always willing to put herself on the spot. So I'm going to take a break.
I'll see what I can do.
Did you know that most fitness businesses lose 13% of their clients every single month? Wodify ran the numbers and found that Wodify-powered businesses keep 96% of their clients. As a 14-year affiliate owner, if you can have a 4% or less churn, you will be crushing. That's why Wodify calls itself a customer retention platform, not just any CRM. They've released the fitness industry's first retention tool called Retain. Retain can predict when your clients are at risk of leaving your business and allows you to catch them before they churn. With Wodify Retain, you can increase your revenue, stop losing clients, and build a stronger community. Go to wodify.com/podcast and book a demo and give Wodify a try today. And the best part is, you'll get 50% off your first 3 months by using the link below. Join the thousands of businesses that have already transformed their operations.
Hi.
Hi. How are you? I'm
doing
Christina.
Well. Nice to meet you, Christina.
Nice
I'm
to
Mark.
meet you too.
Yeah. You know what the definition of a spell is?
No.
Yeah. It's a word or a combination of words of great influence.
Okay.
This is a pen.
She's suspect
Okay.
already.
I'm like,
She's
what's
suspect.
going
Well,
on?
and I should preface this, Mark. We've worked together.
Cool.
So she's.
I'm
you
gonna do
have?
the- I'm going to do
Yeah.
the.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna
we
do
did
the same thing then.
we did some work, didn't we?
We did some work.
How'd that work out for you?
My fire is burning, right?
That's right. That's right.
Okay. Good to know, because one, no promises. I'm just going to see what we can do, right? And we'll do what we
Your
did.
promise is you'll do your best. We can make a promise.
That's all it is. That's all
Yeah.
I ever do.
Yep.
We'll do what we did for the Best Hour affiliate group a couple weeks
I wasn't
ago.
there. I heard there wasn't a dry eye in the house, though.
Yeah, it's fun.
Oh, boy.
So we're gonna
I'm a crier.
No, we're gonna stay on the fun light side of stuff.
We're all going to cry. Nate's going to cry.
Okay.
Yeah, everybody's going to cry. Kevin's going to cry. He can't stand up, but he's going to cry.
So next year, 2024,
Okay.
personal or professional, pick one of the two.
Professional.
Okay, look into your professional life in 2024 and pick the thing that's most important to you.
Okay.
What's most exciting to you? Okay, what is that thing?
It would be to become a member of the CrossFit seminar staff.
Okay, perfect. Write down, give me at least
Ooh.
3 sentences.
I'm bought in now. I like it.
Write down in full sentences what you want, what would happen if you make that happen. How would it feel? How would that influence your professional scene, your social circle? So all the stuff. So give me the details. And here's an important part when it comes to writing: conversational. So half sentences, better than nothing. Okay, and we want to write in full sentences like it was going in a book, so you can say it because you will. So, and here's what we're going to do, just so you know. It's very complicated. I'm kidding. We're going to get a draft written down.
Okay.
A couple of sentences, maybe 3, 4, 5, whatever. And then so that's called the draft. And then we're going to look at how the words are put together and potentially make some improvements. That's called the craft. So just like when you handed a second or third draft in school, and then we're going to supercharge it we're going to get some breaths in there. That'll make more sense later. And that's all we're going to do. We're not going to go into
draft it,
supercharged. We're not going to go into any weird stuff from back then. Not necessary.
So for anybody I'm going to walk through this while you're doing it. So if anybody that's not, go ahead, do your thing. Right, go ahead.
You're going to have to review what I want. A sense of what I want.
Correct. What several sentences. What do you want to get? What do you want to have happen? What would it be like?
Okay.
How would it feel? What kind of feelings would it create? What would your work days be like? What projects would you be working on? Give me all the details in conversational writing.
So a huge part of this whole process is the pen to paper. Huge part. Now, and obviously there's you can do the digital version of that as well, meaning like you can do this on a Google Doc because you guys work on the Google Docs, but that's a huge portion of this and why it works in many instances. Or you start to make, I don't want to say works, why you start to make some breakthroughs on things is because there's an emotional and psychological connection when you actually start to take those things and put them out, whether it's verbally or put them on paper. But there's some, I think there's significant impact for putting them on paper.
This is why I boohooed after we graduated that first group of level 2s, because Because now
He always
I've got
gets off
people-
real quick at the graduation. I'm like, Mark's going to cry, and he just ends the call.
Dude, I got emotional in that last one.
I know. I was like, Mark's going to cry. Gone.
Because I get to listen to people explain it
Yeah.
in their own ways, and that's very extraordinarily gratifying for me, and also very cool.
Yeah.
That was a cool call. I got caught off guard. My man John caught me off guard.
I met him. I met him on Wednesday night.
You went. Oh, that's right. You went to go see him.
He came,
That's right.
he came to the workshop.
Oh, that's cool.
He came
we
to
had
the
a guy.
workshop.
There's a gentleman, John, who was in the. He was
He
in
thinks
mine.
you're the coolest dude.
Dude, out of nowhere.
Me too.
Mine, out of nowhere. Meanwhile, like I've missed a decent amount of calls in level 2.
Yeah.
Because I was in that window. I was
Yeah,
like
you were
traveling.
3 or 4 minutes
I
late
was like
to him.
traveling.
Did you miss one?
I missed like 3.
Whatever.
I was traveling that
Yeah.
whole time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I had like scheduled it, and then 9 weeks of travel. And we get on there, and John's just like, he's like, "You're just a man's man." He's like, "You're the coolest guy. You always know what to say." And I was like, "Is he talking to me?" I was like, "I don't even know if this guy knows who I am." It's like, "You just always know what to say." And I was just like, I've never blushed
He's
in my
even
life,
better
but
in
it's
person.
happening right now. I was like,
John Montrello.
Yeah, it was amazing.
We love you. He's even better in person.
He went through and he just like sprinkled some goodness on everybody on the call, man. It was good.
If you look at what's happening right there, and so to elaborate on what you said, most people don't have a draft to hand in, and when they start writing things down, they get more detailed, whether it's something that they want to do or something that's been bothering them, both of which are a story. And when the words, because that's a slower process than speaking,
Yeah.
and
Cool.
they get more detailed in it, which brings more of the energy of it, whether it's the stuff they want to move away from,
Right.
or the stuff they want to bring more to themselves, and then it's infinitely easier to look at the words once they're on paper. So now we're on the same team. There's no conjecture. There's the first one. There's the last one. There's all the squiggles in between.
Yes.
And so to get all Alan Watts about it, when we learn to think about our thinking, we become alive in a new way. And the fastest way to think about our thinking is not to think about it, is to look at our thinking. And that's what that is. We're now looking at your thinking.
Yeah.
We're looking at the words that are pixelating where you want to go in your imagination in 2024, correct?
Yes.
And then
yes.
we can make some improvements on them. And most people are not playing the game like this. They're not thinking about their thinking. They're just thinking. And it's this soup of mess, where they've come from, where they are, and where they're going. And the fastest way to organize that is to pick up pen and paper and write in specific ways. Now, this is not journaling. Okay,
Right.
this is different. This is different.
All right, so she's got her, we'll call it, I don't know, 5 sentences maybe.
Yeah. First things first.
So drafted
do
it? No, I'm
Okay.
not ready
All
for
right.
that.
Yeah. Please.
And you know what? I want to make this connection. If there's people listening that are CrossFit, right? Christina's at L4, right? What I'm seeing in
I'm
this
not even in level 4, just for the record.
in comparison, right, is when I went to my level 2 and they handed me a PVC pipe to do the overhead squat, right?
Right.
And here's the beginning at the top. That's where the end is at the bottom, right? Come in, then come back up to the top again. And it's all fun and games, right? Oh, up, down, there's the overhead squat until they're like, cool, interested. Nope, stop, pause, right? Actually rotate, nope, hips back, no, push the knees out, right? And we're starting to slow it
feel like
down
you
and
might have
starting to
done
be
this
like,
before.
whoa, I didn't know I could even connect this way, right? And by being able to start writing things down, we're actually slowing things down. Because if it's just verbal, we're in it, right? And I believe I heard you say this the other day on the Instagram, subjective to objective, right? It's now being written down. So we're slowing things down. The mind has to slow down. I mean, how long did that take for you to write down, right?
3
in
to 4
comparison, if we
minutes.
just asked you would have spit some stuff out, and it would have been very quick, and there wouldn't have been a ton of thought to it. And same thing as in CrossFit, right? We got to slow down those patterns to truly feel like, oh, I'm not actually externally rotated here. I didn't even notice that. And it's the same kind of process that we're going through right now, is being able to go, hey, we're going to slow it down.
Perfect analogy. The faster the story goes, the harder it is to change. The faster rate of speech, rate of thought is critical to consider and then adjust when it comes to helping people with their mindset. And lucky us, we have a functional definition of mindset. It's the story we tell ourselves. That's what our mindset is. And it's the story we tell ourselves to ourselves about ourselves, what we deserve to have, what we don't deserve to have, and a lot of that stuff is opinions. You know, nothing ever works out for me is not a unit of measurement. So we're getting them on paper, and we're going to do something, everybody. We're going to 4-step this thing, okay? There's 4 steps to it. First things first, write it down.
Okay.
Fantastic. What does it feel, before we get into the words, how does it feel to have that written down?
It feels like it's something that I've thought about, right? But I haven't ever done this, so it's out there now. It's out of my thoughts, which kind of makes it more real. It makes it more real. It's a tangible thing now instead of just a dream.
Listen to what she just, I didn't pay her to say that. The difference between a dream and a goal, a dream is in your head, a goal's written down. If it's not written down, you do not have a goal. You've got a dream and a scheme. Once the words hit paper, it is now statistically 1,000%, 10 times more likely to transpire because words hit paper.
That's right.
And most people do not invest. We're not taking or spending. Invest the time to get the words on paper and go, well, okay, let me do a little bit of this here and make it sing. So go ahead, Christina, and read what you wrote first, all the sentences, regular pace. Let's see what happens. I want to listen to it. I'll put it through the tumbler.
I want to be on the CrossFit seminar staff. If I were, I would be able to encourage more people that they are capable of CrossFit and getting control of their health. It would feel purposeful. I would travel around to multiple affiliates and give future coaches my perspective on empathy and coaching, and this will impact more can't even read my own writing. More people than just who are already fit. This is my purpose on this planet.
Very cool. See the breath? How's it feel to read that? What kind of energy does it create? I can take a guess, and I want to hear you say it.
It's two things, right? Like
That's what my guess. A mixed bag. Some yay and some.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like you were saying before. About the fear of putting yourself out, the fear of being exposed, being seen, but at the same time so exciting because what I want to do is exciting. So I want to do it, but it's also scary.
You know, it's more than normal. That's to be expected.
Yeah.
And with a little bit of know-how and a pen and a piece of paper, we can do a whole lot with that. None of this stuff is rocket science. Trust me, if I can understand it, anybody can understand it. So, and pardon me, I used the wrong tech. We're not going to 4-step this. We're going to draft it, craft it, and supercharge it. Similar, and there's a difference. So, for everybody listening, you can do this too. Pick up a pen, hit pause, write out conversationally what you want to do. Pick one of the two, personally or professionally. Pick the biggest, most scary, fun, exciting thing for next year. Okay? Write it out conversationally. You want a paragraph. A half of a sentence doesn't summon the good juju, and write it out conversationally, okay, and then read it, see what happens. So now we have the words written. Read that first one. We're going to go through it line by line and see if we can make any improvements. And this, to get clear about this too, this is not what I think you should say. I'm going to help you tinker with your words to find out what feels best for you. Because I can't do it. 2, I don't want to know what you need to think. That's weird. That'd be weird if I could and weird if I wanted to. It's called the believability factor or preference. What do you prefer? So this is, you're driving the bus and I'm just here to go, hey, we'll see what fits best. Sound good?
Yeah.
Cool. So read that first one.
I want to be on the CrossFit seminar staff.
I like how she said that. She delivered it different the second time.
Very different, yeah.
Want to, can, will.
I will be on the CrossFit seminar staff.
Perfect. Take it. Scratch out want to and
Scratch out
put in
want
will.
to.
What happens when we take out the want to and put in will?
Gotta say it.
It's the same thing again, right? Like it feels more real, but more scary.
And if any emotions come up while we're doing this, that's okay. I know what to do with that too.
Okay.
Perfect. So we made an adjustment with those words. Read that second sentence.
If I were, I would be able to encourage more people that they are capable of CrossFit and getting control of their health.
If I were, or when I am.
When I am.
Put that in. Oh, and by the way, everybody, we could go 3 steps ahead. I'm going to do my best, again, to slow this process down so we take 1 step at a time with the words so everybody can follow the process. That's very important because I'm not a coach. First and foremost, I'm an entertainer. And second, I'm a teacher. Okay? So I'm here to tell some interesting stories. Get it, show up and tell interesting stories. We're going to talk about showing up and teach this stuff. So now read that second sentence.
When I am, I will be able to encourage more people that they are capable of CrossFit and getting control of their health.
When I am. Scratch out those 3 words. Got her. Right there.
Wow.
That's called a cognitive shift. I got 2 out of that.
Damn it.
She goes,
2 for the price of 1.
oh.
Yep.
What happened to make you go, oh?
You just realize how, you talk about these words and they're so powerful to just keep knocking you down a couple pegs, right? Like, maybe I will, I would, I could, instead of like, I'm going to encourage people that they can do CrossFit and that they can retain or get control of their health.
Look at what
Different
she just did. Different tone and different body language.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so when you stop believing your clients, and this might sound cold at first, you get access to the big 5. And if you pay attention to what she just did, she goes, dun 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 dun. When you observe the story instead of believe the story, you get to pay attention to the word choice, how the words are put together. You get to pay attention to, these are vital, these are crucial if you want to facilitate transformation with your clients and get you out of amateur hour coaching. So you get to pay attention to the words. You get to pay attention to the rate of speech. You get to pay attention to body language. Our language influences our body language. You get to pay attention to inflection, which you picked up on because you deliver that very different. And then you get to pay attention to how your clients are breathing. When you're helping someone change their story and you're helping them work those pedals and paying attention to what does what, which goes down dramatically if you believe the problematic story from the start, which leads to drama bonding, which leads to lack of transformation, promises delivered, I'm going to help you, which creates the stuck, which leads to imposter syndrome, which is one of the reasons why coaches get out of the game. Because that's one of the top things we're when believing your clients right off the bat.
Were you the one posted that the other day?
You poor thing. Yeah,
So
probably.
No, well, imposter. It's beginner syndrome, not imposter syndrome.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's part of it, for sure. We nailed the second sentence, right? Read that third one, please.
It would feel purposeful.
Read that again.
It would feel purposeful.
Different.
One more time.
It would feel purposeful.
Take out the it, put in I.
Jeez.
Let it happen.
That's like, it feels so weird, but I would feel purposeful. That's
Breathe.
a really powerful sentence.
No shit. And let it hit you in the feels, because this is you moving from that old version of you, or the older version of you, into the version of you that works there, does this, and helps people do the thing that you know you can and have trained years to be able to do. The difference between here and there is only a story. It's not a desire, and it's not skill. You're a level 4 CrossFit coach. All it is a story. And we're smack dab in the middle of changing that. I hope you want this, because you're probably going to get it.
Soft talking knowledge.
Say it again.
I would feel purposeful.
Breathe in. Coach, teaching side note, when you get to a hot spell, that's what this, so a spell, like we started with, is a combination of words of great influence. When you hit a hot one, whether it's one that is scary and expansive or one that feels like it's crushing your chest, you stay there and rep it with breath. No need to go anywhere else. You're exactly where you need to be. So we're going to stay here and repeat this with breath to loosen it up, and we're going to change some words. You're doing, how good is she doing?
Great, crushing.
It's phenomenal.
Yep.
So say it one more time.
I would feel purposeful.
Hear how she said it different? I know you.
Yep.
Breathe in. Preaching the choir over here. I would feel. Just go ahead and scratch out the wood.
I was waiting
We'll
for
take
it.
it. We'll just one step at a time. Scratch
Feel?
out wood. Just
No,
the
take
wood.
out wood.
Wood.
Oh, wood.
Yeah.
Wow.
If it makes you feel any better, it's interesting to watch somebody else go through this when you've
Yeah.
already done it. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, I know what's coming.
Yeah. I feel purposeful.
Breathe. Again.
I feel purposeful.
Breathe in. Don't know why, doesn't matter. 2 negations for you. 3rd time's the charm.
I feel purposeful.
Breathe in. Take out feel, put in am. She's like, I'm going to kill Fern. Ackerman.
Yeah.
Where is he?
Believe it.
Let it happen. This is alchemy, folks. This stuff cooks. Oh, it's just some words. People would pay. Most people would pay not to do this. I'm not talking about necessarily in CrossFit space, because this is a beautiful microcosm. If I go out there and grab 100 people off the street and get them to write down a dream and turn it into a goal and get into the specifics of it, as far as the words and the feelings of the part of them that wants it and the part of them that's desperate to hold them back and not do it, they'd pay me not to do that shit.
Yeah.
They would pay not to do that.
Yeah.
Because it summons the feels. And that's a good thing if you want what you want. If not, stop listening to this right now.
I am purposeful.
Breathe in. Breathe out. Again.
I am purposeful.
One more time.
I am purposeful.
Breathe in. Describe the vibe. Is the energy changing?
Yeah, well, in my head, I want to change it again to I have purpose.
By all means.
It's your words.
Say it again.
You know the drill.
Oh my God. Where did I get myself into?
I have purpose.
Breathe in. I'll tell you what you got yourself into. It's actually what you're getting yourself into is your future, the future that you want. Most people do not ever spell it out. They just dream and scheme. There's a big difference.
I have purpose.
Breathe in.
I have purpose. I have purpose.
And that's exactly how you socialize a new idea, a new belief, a new opinion, is you adjust the words, get it good, and then rep it with breath. So when we get the breath in there, this is 80%, 70% of why most people like affirmations don't work out of the people that use them.
Yeah.
It's because they repeat them and the breath is trapped in the chest. It's just this head job.
Yeah.
When we get the breath in there, it's 3 ways of saying the same thing. We socialize the idea, we take it to heart, we embody the concept. It's exactly what we're doing right now. This stuff is sinking in.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is, get ready. Just get ready. That's coming.
Yeah.
It's actually here.
Yeah.
Whoa. What's the next one?
The next sentence.
Yeah.
I would travel around to multiple affiliates and give future coaches my perspective in empathy and coaching, and they will impact more than just the fit.
Gentlemen? Starts with a W.
Yeah. I was trying to think if there's anything else. That's the one that popped out. Take out would. Swap it out with.
Will. I will travel around to multiple affiliates and give future coaches my perspective in empathy and coaching, and they will impact more than just the fit.
Take out will. I travel. Is what it is. Aha, gotcha. Again. What?
It just gets more and more tangible. You know, you start to picture it. I can feel a red shirt on, you know, like it's
There's the
I can
identity.
see the circle around
Yep.
me. I can see
Yep.
you know, the squat, push your knees out, like you can start to visualize
Who?
actually doing this.
You can start to visualize actually doing this. That's exactly what you
Yeah.
can start to visualize actually doing this. Take out the you, put in I.
I
Can.
can visualize actually doing this.
Take out the actually.
I can visualize doing this.
Put me in front of doing.
I can visualize me doing this.
Take out can.
I visualize me doing this.
Next sentence, since we're here, let's keep going.
This is my purpose on this planet.
I'll take it.
I was going to say, I'm not touching that one.
We could
can leave that one.
This I.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. And,
Yeah.
you know,
We could, but
Yeah.
no, we're good.
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
Keep it. Next.
That was it.
That was it.
That was
it.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So, no, seriously, fantastic. We drafted. We got the words on paper. We went in there, and it's a team. This is a team sport.
Yeah.
Okay? Working with your clients in this way. It's a team event. Went back and forth with the words, found out what fits best for you today. That's the craft. And then the supercharge is go ahead and write everything out again in the crafted way down here.
Okay.
Okay? And we'll be back. I'm going to go get a spell card and the Abracadabra stamp because we're going to supercharge that thing and then have her put it on a spell card and hit it with the Abracadabra stamp. And
Bam.
Yeah. So I'll be right back.
Yeah,
Cool,
do it.
good?
Let's go.
Can't bring Mark anywhere. When did you guys work together, you and Christina?
We got on a call together,
Okay.
and we were working through her current situation that she was in, where she was at, where she was coaching, what she wanted.
Right.
In an affiliate that she was at.
Right.
And as many affiliate owners have been there before, somebody is fed up. They've reached their
Right.
end, the affiliate owner, and somebody else is saying, hey, I'm ready.
Right.
I'm ready to come in. I'll take this over.
Right.
And the affiliate owners tend to want more than what the business is usually
It's fair.
really worth. And being
work-
able to
work through that
realize,
story.
because a lot of affiliate owners are like, well, this is my chance and there's nothing else. And
Right.
they're allowing this external force to change internally what they want
Right.
and what they can achieve. And so what Christine and I worked through is being able to go, no, let's look in here. Is
Yeah,
this
yeah.
what you want?
Right.
Okay, then you can go do it no matter what. You don't need anybody else.
Yeah, and the important part about this whole process is that what's happening here might seem, frou-frou or whatever, but it's a big deal, right? Because that story, A, was never written down. Number 2 is following her around all the time.
Yep.
On repeat, going on in there. And in many instances, we don't actually know how much it's impacting, how we show up to interactions with people, what actions we do or don't take. The other words that we use and other stuff.
Yeah.
It's endless.
Oh.
And until you start to do some of these exercises, and it starts pretty heavy on the front end, and then it starts to become more maintenance based.
Yep.
You're like, I caught myself. Probably it's time to check in with that.
Yep.
Let me talk about that for a minute, and then you need less, just like training. I need a little bit less stimulus to get back on track than I did when I first started.
That's right. That's right.
And so I think this stuff is super important, and most people overlook it because they think it's bullshit. And I'm like, it's not.
Yeah.
not.
Well, what's interesting, I was on my...
It's actually most people's, it's probably their actual hang up.
Oh, 100%. And I was on my Instagram the other day, and I thought this was really keen. I I put in my Instagram, I asked a series of questions, and it was particularly to men, and I said, how many of you have hired a fitness coach, right? And so it was about 70% hired a fitness coach. And then the next question was, who has hired a nutrition coach?
Right.
Okay. And that went down just a little bit, right? Dropped a little bit. And then I said, who is here has hired a mindset coach? That drops all the way down to 10%, right? So it went from anywhere from 60 to 80% with fitness and nutrition down to 10%. So my last question was, when it comes to winning, is it more mental or physical? 90% answered mental.
Between the ears, baby.
And I went, oh, that's interesting. You're not willing to invest. You haven't hired. They literally just told me, I have never hired a mindset coach, but I believe that 90% of people believe that winning is mental. But we're not investing it. We're actually not pulling it out and saying, okay, I'm going to invest in this. Because if I truly believed it was 90%, then I should be seeking as much as I can, right, to go, who can help me mentally? Because if I believe that, right, then I'm going to put my money where my mouth is, my time where it is. But people aren't. People aren't.
All right. Game time.
This is where we supercharge. So read it, make it simple, read at regular speed, and we're going to breathe with you because this is a team sport.
Okay.
When you get to the end of each sentence, I want you to do this. So full in,
Full disclosure,
out.
this is going to get weird.
Okay.
Like it wasn't already.
Okay. I will be on the CrossFit seminar staff.
Nice.
I will be able to encourage more people that they are capable of CrossFit and getting control of their health. I have purpose.
Let all the air come out. Excellent.
I travel around to multiple affiliates and give future coaches my perspective on empathy and coaching, and they will impact more than just the already fit. This is my purpose on this planet.
One, phenomenal. Two, what happened when you got the breath in there?
It almost stops.
Take out the almost.
It stops the doubts from coming in, right? So like if I just kept reading, it's like, okay, the thoughts come in your head like, yeah, okay, whatever, you're full of shit. But it's like you say one sentence at a time and you take a deep breath and you let it sink in without allowing those voices to come in.
So if that's what it stops doing, it stops that trash talk, imposter syndrome. Mm-hmm. Imposter syndrome tanks more coaches' careers than anything, than all the other stuff put together. Mm-hmm. So if it stops that getting in the way, what does it start? What does it give more space to and for?
For that to happen.
The good shit.
Yeah.
The good shit. And how does that feel? Describe the vibe. And this is it, almost. Describe the energy. Describe what you're feeling right now.
Capable. It's going to happen.
Period.
Yeah.
End of story.
Yeah, that's
beginning
the
of new story.
Yeah.
No further words needed.
Yeah.
Last thing, while we riff on this, take this, put it there, and then we're going to hit it with the abracadabra stamp. You know what abracadabra means?
Other than a magic word,
It's way cooler than that. Abracadabra is Aramaic. It's an ancient language. It's the language the original Old Testament was written in. It's still spoken, and it's alive. Very old language, still alive. And and abracadabra translates to "with my words I create," or "with my words I influence."
Okay.
Spells. Does that make more sense now?
Yeah.
So for those of you that are watching this is obviously if you didn't unpack what just happened, there's a lot going on there. And this is typically a multi-part process. You're going to do this over a long period of time. There'll be multiple iterations of breakthroughs on stuff. You may have 4, 5, 6 layers to go on this, and you're going to do most of these one at a time. Be like, hey, I'm going to sort this one out. Yeah. I'm going to move to the next one. Yeah. And so it's a process, right? And the value of this is, again, going through this. So stick with me here. If I am a coach, when I, as a coach, use soft talk, that is transmitted to the people that I'm talking to, which are my clients. Yep. Fitness clients, nutrition clients. When I don't use those words, when I remove them and I'm more purposeful about my language, how I show up, that also transmits to my clients. Yep. And if we think about the number of clients that fail, meaning they don't come back or they quit, when we take ownership of that and we say, hey, how much of that is on my shoulders because I transmitted feelings, soft talk, all these other things to them, unknowing. Yeah. Right? You're just completely ignorant to the entire thing. But that's a real thing.
Oh, man.
You know, simple
It's
things.
the norm. It's worse. It's
simple
worse than
things
common.
like, hey,
It's norm.
simple things like when you're given the whiteboard brief and be like, hey, if you don't have pull-ups, be like, that phrase has impact.
Yes, it does.
Significant impact. When you, instead of saying, hey, for those of you still working on pull-ups, we're gonna be doing this today. It's a whole different vibe. It's a whole different message. There's multiple things unpacked there, and this is what we're unpacking here. These are all little microcosms of things that we do. The number of words that you say in the course of a 60-minute class, I don't know what it is. Let's call it a lot. Yeah. How many of them could be improved? The answer is a lot. Oh, massively. At which point, the impact that I'm going to have inside of that class with those people day after day after day, session after session, starts to snowball over time because they start to pick up on those things. And I start to recognize, this is the soft talk challenge, I start to recognize those things. I start to remove them from my clients. Like, well, when they use things like,
go up.
Right, they start to use, well, probably, perhaps, feels like, yes, maybe, could, might, possibly, sort of, kind of, potentially, hopefully, try, one day, should, almost like. The number of times somebody says that in the course of your class is a lot, right? You start to extract those from their verbiage or from the vocabulary. All of a sudden, they start to make changes as well.
Yeah. Well, there's a big difference, and we've seen this before in a gym before. Somebody getting up, it's PR day, right? And you as a coach, you saw them just do a squat. They had plenty of power left, right? They add a little bit more weight to the bar. They get right before they get underneath it, they go, I don't know if I can get this. And you watch them fail. Right. In stark difference to before I get underneath the bar, I say, I got this.
Yeah.
And now you watch them PR. Right. No problem.
Simply because you just changed the words. You step up before they weren't any stronger.
Well, the visualization. I don't know if I got this. I'm seeing myself bail. Right. I got this. I'm seeing everybody look at me. I'm seeing myself scream, yell, get to the top, feel success.
Good job.
Thank you. Thanks.
I think we should end right there, dude.
Done.
I think
done and done.
Well done.
Super well.
Most people, I'm glad everybody gets to watch that. I've seen that happen many, many times. But for those of you that have never seen that happen, it's a pretty significant thing. And I hope you guys appreciate what you just saw because it's not small. So that's real. Not today. That's the future.
Yeah.
Go make it happen.
Thank you.
We'll see you guys next time. Thanks for checking out this episode of the Best Hour of Their Day podcast. We appreciate you listening and choosing to have us help you in your passion for coaching and affiliate ownership. You can find more episodes just like this on all podcast platforms. If you're interested in learning more, you can reach out to us on any social media platforms, or you can visit www.besthouroftheirday.com to book a call. If you found this episode helpful for you, please share it so that we can help other coaches and affiliate owners to help build a bigger and stronger CrossFit community. Thanks for listening.